All right, so we're going to move in. I'm going to share another screen here. We're going to move into our next conversation, our next session, which is a lightning session. The good, the bad, and the ugly of CDK and of CDK adoption in a big enterprise by Matt Jovanovic. And I really hope I'm saying that right.
I think it's Jovanovic.
Okay.
We'll see which one of us is right.
Yeah, names. No, I barely pronounce my name. I have, just so you know, I have 5 kids. And I would, if I could today go back, I would change their names to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just for that reason. That would be much easier. All right, with that, we'll pass you on to Matt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I hope you're enjoying the CDK day. I hope you learned a lot and saw a few interesting sessions in the previous hours. And thanks for sticking around. So I'm Matt Jovanovic. You can follow me on Twitter. And today I'll be talking to you about the CDK adoption in a big enterprise. The good and the bad about it. Actually, the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. So without further ado, let's get started. So I work at Cepsa. Cepsa is based in Spain. It's an energy company. So we bring energy options and energy solutions to people. These are our BUs you can see in the screen: exploration, production, refining, chemicals, and all that other stuff. So we have around 10,000 employees all over the world, on all the continents, and we are quite big on AWS. So we have all our data lakes. Most of our application stack is serverless, so we went cloud native all in. So today we have over 100 AWS accounts. We are mostly using cloud native and serverless, and around 5,500 cloud formation stacks. So just imagine any migration to any other tool for us would be a nightmare. So talking about development teams, that's the complex part about big enterprise. We have 3 different types of development teams. So the first one is in the area of what we call digital transformation. These are the most innovation-oriented data engineers and scientists, and they have this product orientation. So they build and run their own products. So that's a really good progress from the traditional IT, where we have internal teams developing an application and then just handing it over to the IT ops, which would be our second model. And then we have the third model, which is external collaboration. So we have a bunch of solutions that, due to skills or expertise, we prefer to outsource the development. And the challenge of that part is that later it comes back to us like a boomerang. So regardless of the other company developing it, we are the ones who have to end up operating it. So CDK is something that I had my eye on for a while. As I'm leading the Cloud Center of Excellence in Cepsa, I work as head of cloud. My team is always looking out for innovation and new solutions in AWS. So when we saw CDK, we really liked it, but we have a really complex environment. So multi-region, multi-account, authentication is pretty complex. We now use AWS SSO, which is amazing, but it didn't used to have API. So once it started supporting native integration with the ADFS, which is our identity, we started using it, and that was really forward. But when it comes to authentication and MFA in a CLI, then it becomes challenging. So what happened to me in the beginning of this year, I got this guy. So in Spain, that means that you get 3 months off to help the mother and program, right? Because I've been focusing quite a lot on management recently. Leading teams is not easy. So I missed programming. So I said, okay, I'll use my paternity leave, 3 months, to take care of the baby and also test CDK. See if it can really fit in a big enterprise. See what challenges I find in documentation and everything. So I took this approach. So on mattscloud.com, you can see all this because I like open source community. I like the community. That's one of my favorite things about CDK. So I said this, okay, so I'll take this real enterprise type serverless application, a type that we use in Cepsa a lot, with Cognito for authentication, federated with whatever, CloudFront as CDN, application load balancer, then for static content images as such as S3, for a container where the app would be running, constructing the IAM service policy so that the container can access Dynamo and whatever else it needs to access in the backend. And I said, okay, I'll document this. I'll work on a workshop, and when I come back from my paternity leave, if this works, I'll show it to all developers, and we'll see if they like it. So on the web, as you can see, on matscal.com, you can see all this. So you can go to Become a Cloud Ninja if you're interested, and go to Cloud Infrastructure. And here you can find, like, you see CloudFormation, CDK, IAM, Cognito. Everything is fully documented as a workshop. So you can run through it and learn how to build the real CDK enterprise application. So Cognito, like what Cognito is, what we're building from the architecture you saw before, requirements, code, how it all should run, then also some problems, how to configure the main names in Route 53, certificates, everything that you need for a web, and then also some problems that you can run into and how to solve it. I'm particularly proud of this part. So back to our PowerPoint. I built all this and I was amazed. So I said, okay, coming back from my paternity leave, I'm going to present it to the guys and let's see what comes out of this. So the first part was the developers. We went as a center of excellence to talk to them, and we presented all this. Like, you can do infrastructure of AWS in Python or TypeScript, or, you know, this is how it works, and, you know, they just loved it. It was so easy. We just said, okay, so you can start using it, but wait a bit. We need to check with the operations if they're happy about it, because the developers were such an easy sell that it was almost scary. So we went to our SRE team. So SRE are the real ninjas in Cepsa. So they have this thing, this weapon, this shield that's called production ready, and that's the set of rules and tools and a full checklist of what a new service or application needs to develop, to include, in order to be received on our part. So they go around, talk to the production teams, product teams, and they help them build this. But this shield is really strong for them. That's their only weapon, so they take really good care of them. And just imagine day to day for them. It's a bunch of companies coming from all sorts of different proposals. Terraform, I work with VMs, no serverless, OpenShift, Kubernetes, and then like Lambda, TypeScript, Golang, people who now just do Java. They really need to be strict about that stuff. So when we presented CDK, first answer was no. TypeScript, no, we're not doing TypeScript. And we had to sit down with them, explain the point, and they quickly got it, because these guys are hardcore software engineers with a lot of experience, but they know that when the lights go off, they call them. So it was easy. You can see now the happy SRE, happy Captain America, because we decided to just allow CDK with Python to document everything properly, and that was all happy. Everyone was happy. So that was the bad turned into a good. And then we got to the part that was ugly. So when we started talking to traditional operations, so the guys who handle like networking, operating systems, who install Windows and stuff like that, who need to change security groups and routes sometimes. So they do that in CloudFormation, they accepted that. But when we told them that they need to operate stuff in Python, guys who never programmed, that was a hard sell. That was a really hard.
All right, so not exactly sure what's going
on. They know that in Python, they don't have enough control as they do in the console to quickly change something. And this workaround, this is what took us the biggest amount of time. So my advice to all of you, if you're looking into CDK, think about this part. Think whether it makes sense to teach your operations everything they need to know to do CDK. How we solved this? is that we reinforced production ready a bit. So we included just Python and CDK and a set of rules, naming, tags, everything that need to exist for the developers. So they were happy. These are rules that are documented, it's okay. And on the other side, between Cloud Center of Excellence and SRE, we organized intense workshops to teach IT Ops Python, mostly Python, and then CDK, because once they learned all that, they got on board more or less easily. So to conclude the presentation and the session, it wasn't really that ugly once we really understood what's going on. So thank you everyone for your attention. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be on Slack for the live Q&A, and I really hope you enjoyed the CDK day. Bye-bye.